Guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. We have another should you summon, this time on the legendary TOP banner for the LR Android 17 that Dokkan's awakened into the Universe 7 unit, and the LR Golden Frieza, which Dokkan awakens into Golden Frieza and Android 17. But before we do get into today's content, if you could drop a like on the video, that'd be very much appreciated. And also, if you are new and you're enjoying the content you are seeing, consider hitting that big red subscribe button. Of course, all your support is very much appreciated on the channel. As always with the should you summon videos, and quite similarly to yesterday's video of where you should be using your thank you tickets or your tons of thanks tickets, this isn't to sway you, this isn't to tell you where you should be summoning or spending your stones. At the end of the day, as I say, it's entirely up to you. It's your account. Dokkan's a single player game. At the end of the day, you can do whatever you want with your stones and summon for whoever you want to. For all these videos are to do is essentially weigh up the pros and cons and give you or help you make an informative decision on where you decide to spend your stones and who to summon for. So hopefully this video is useful to you. As I said earlier, if it is useful to you, consider dropping a like on the video. Of course, as I said, your support is very much appreciated. But let's get into it. First, as I said, there'll probably be some similar points we touch on from yesterday's video because it's the same banner, the legendary we talked about yesterday with tickets. Of course, one of the things I will say is, with the year 6 celebration, when this banner drops, you will have your tons of thanks tickets. So, you know, you could save your stones easily there. That's one point I need to make immediately. You could easily save the stones you have remaining, whether you have a Goku, whether you have Vegeta, whether you have both, whether you're planning to use those stones to summon for either one of them, or one of them you're missing, or maybe you do have both and you're potentially trying to save stones for a future Dokkan Fest banner that's coming, or potentially the worldwide celebration, which isn't too far away. It's looking incredibly hype. You know, with potential SSJ4 Goku and Vegeta that fuses into Gogeta and a dual Dokkan Fest with a transforming and Mega Shenron. I completely understand why you want to save your stones. But the one benefit I will touch on immediately is at least you're going to have tons of thanks tickets to use, so you can save stones. You do have some left, whatever you're going to use them on. So that is one decent thing about summoning on this banner, is the fact that you can save your stones and use the tons of thanks tickets instead. You're not going to be using those, and you do have stones to be summoning on this banner. Of course, one thing you need to know immediately, of course, is this a legendary summon banner? Yes, it's a TOP banner. There's one slight benefit, which is there is 2 featured LRs rather than 1, so you have more chance to pull one of them. Whether you pull the one you want, obviously, that's all RNG at the end of the day. But there's 2 LRs on this banner. But the one thing you have to remember with legendary summon banners is the rates aren't that great. As you can see here, all the featured units on this banner, all the featured SSRs, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 featured SSRs, and 12 including both of the featured LRs. So there's 12 featured units altogether. That's a lot of featured SSRs. 10 of them are the units you probably don't want. 10 of them are not the LRs you would be summoning for, so do remember that. These aren't the best banners you should be summoning on. Just remember that before you start summoning on LR banners. They don't have the best rates, they have loads of featured units or featured SSRs that aren't the featured LRs that you want. Not to mention, as I said, their rates aren't the greatest. You probably shouldn't really be summoning on these, especially if you're a free-to-play player. Use your stones elsewhere, probably on you know, more useful banners like Dokkan Fests, LR Dokkan Fest banners, worldwide celebration coming up, something like that. But at the end of the day, as I said, if you want to summon on this banner and try your luck, maybe you really like the look of this LR 17 that turns into all 5 of them, with him, Goku, Vegeta, Frieza, and Gohan on one of them, then again, by all means, it's Dokkan's a single player game. I'm not going to tell you how you should spend your stones. I'm just going to give you, as I said, the kind of pros and cons. I mean, if you want one of these units, like you really want one of these units, maybe 17 or Frieza is your favorite character. Maybe, as I said, you like the look of that, you know, the LR 17. There's all 5 of them on it. I mean, go for it. 100% go for it. It's entirely down to you. But if you're a completely free-to-play player, and even then, if you're not spending that much money on the game, you know, it's probably not best that you're summoning on a legendary rates banner because, as I said, they're not the best. The one benefit I can kind of add to this banner is if you're not summoning a lot, or maybe your RNG hasn't been there for non-featured units when pulling some of these, specifically this Golden Frieza here, this Golden Frieza here, and these 2 blue Gokus. Maybe you don't have them, maybe you started playing Dokkan at a later date, so you're missing older units like this. The one benefit with these, but I mean they're going to be on an unfeatured pool at all times on Dokkan Fest banners and other banners Dokkan releases, is these 4 units here have easy A's. The 2 Golden Friezas are very good. This one has damage reduction, which is very useful for likes of ESBR and LGE, or, you know, Legendary GT Goku event. This Goku's pretty solid, and this Goku isn't too bad. He's okay, and this Frieza's quite underrated. He's pretty good as well. So the one benefit is these 4 units here all have easy A's. And as I said, if you're a newer Dokkan player, you might not really have these units. You might not have them at all, or you barely have any dupes in them. So I guess that's kind of one added benefit. But still, they're not the premium units, of course, you want. You know, they're not the Dokkan Fest units that you want to be summoning for. But I guess that's one added benefit. In terms of the units themselves, they're not bad. They're not bad units at all. They're pretty solid. We'll take a quick look at them. We have actually looked at them before, but we will do it again for the purpose of this video. And for those of you who didn't see them, actually, I can't remember what video I actually looked at both of them. I think it was potentially like everything that's coming in part 2 video. So we will take another look at them if you haven't seen that video. So we don't want to click on that. We want to click on this. So we'll look at this one first. The Universe 7's All-Out Offense, the Android 17 Team Universe 7 unit. Representatives Universe 7 category key +4, HP attack and defense plus 150 cent. Definitely not 150 cent, you know, or party in the club, you know. No, 150% super in type key +4 and HP and attack and defense plus 100%. On super attack, greatly raises attack for 1 turn, which is a 50% multiplier, causes colossal damage to enemy and raises allies defense by 30% for 1 turn. So pretty decent ability on the super attack. On the ultra super attack, however, causes mega colossal damage to enemy, raises ally defense to 30%, and a chance to perform a critical hit by 7% for 1 turn. The ultra super attack is very nice as well, keeps that, you know, damage increase by 30% for all allies, but then has a 7% chance for 1 turn hit a crit, which is very nice, especially for a built-in crit on an int unit, you know, when in free dupe, because you're probably not going to get dupes on LR banners unless you're extremely lucky in your summons. But yeah, having a built-in crit on an int unit, quite useful. I mean, we've seen it with SSB Vegeta as well, with built-in additionals and crits. In terms of the passive, attack and defense plus 70%. This unit's heavily based around a Reps Universe 17, by the way, so you're probably mainly, actually in general, you're probably mainly going to running both of these units on Reps Universe 17s predominantly, especially this one, because of the way their kit's built. Attack and defense plus 70% plus an additional attack and defense plus 70% when there are 5 or more Reps Universe 7 category allies on the team, plus an additional attack plus 70% when key is 22 or more, plus an additional key plus 2 per rainbow keys for obtained. Chance of performing a critical hit plus 7% per rainbow keys for obtained. So quite similar to Blue Boys, really heavily, you know, their passives heavily focused on you picking up as many orbs as possible, specifically rainbow orbs, which is why a lot of people on JP said, you know, in part 3 where we're going to get the easy A for the free-to-play units, specifically for the Fizz UI Goku. Everyone after his easy A was quite thinking, you know, if he was a rainbow support unit, or rainbow support unit, Reps Universe Survival Saga, he would be incredibly useful, especially with some of the units being so heavily based around picking up orbs, specifically rainbow key orbs on the team. Fortunately, he isn't. He is still very good support, by the way. But yeah, so it's very focused on you getting rainbow key spheres, which you're not always going to get the full bulk of their passive off. And when key is 22 or more as well, to get that additional attack plus 70%, again, you're not always going to be getting that amount of key. You might barely be getting past, or just getting past, you know, the 18 key mark to get their ultra super attack off. So do remember that they're a solid unit. It's just their kit is heavily focused around Reps Universe 7, which is obviously completely fine if you're running a Reps Universe 7 team. It's a very good team, especially after this celebration where they got a huge buff to the team with the two Dokkan Fest units, which if you have them is only going to make this team better, especially if you're pulling for one of these LRs or even get both. But as I said, it's heavily focused on picking up key orbs, getting up to 22 key or more to get the bonus attack plus 70%, plus an additional key plus 2, which kind of helps for this key, you know, key is 22 or more part of the passive, but you have to get rainbow key spheres to do so, and then you also need rainbow key spheres per rainbow key sphere obtained. You can increase your critical hit chance plus 7% each time, or per rainbow key sphere, shall I say. So it's very specific, if you will. So do remember that. They do have an active skill, both of the units do. Greatly raise attack temporarily, which is a 50% or multiplied by 50% during the super attack, or attack in general. Causes ultimate damage to enemy, all allies key plus 7 for 1 turn. So You know, their active skill is very useful, you know, with the key bonus. It's actually very useful specifically for them if you run two. If you had one of your own and then ran a friend as a friend lead, which you probably won't do, but it does help. It's something to take in consideration. In terms of the active skill conditions, can be activated when facing only one enemy whose HP is 50% or less. If there are 5 or more Reps Universe 7 category allies on the team, with 2 or more of them self-excluded, so they don't include in this, attacking in the same turn once only. This is what I mean. You're mainly going to be running this Universe 7 unit on a Reps Universe 7 team because their kit, their passive, their active skill, the active skill conditions are heavily focused on being on a Reps team. So you're mainly going to be running them there. Just remember that. You're probably not going to be running them on many teams. They don't have many categories anyway. Universe of Oz, Survival Saga, which can be very heavily Reps Universe 7 based. You know, you could run Jiren and Topone and the rest of the units Reps Universe 7. Just remember that. They can't go many categories. And the main part when you're going to really, like, you know, take advantage of the most and where they'll shine is on this team here when you run a lot of Reps Universe 7 category allies, specifically 5, and also Reps Universe 7 itself, and then Join Forces, which you could run them on, but as I said, their kit is heavily built around Universe or Reps Universe 7 allies, or specifically that team. So do take that into consideration in terms of the next unit, which is the Golden Frieza and the 17. Universe Survival Saga or Joined Forces category key +3 HP and attack and defense plus 150%. So, I mean, if you're missing Jiren, you're missing the SSBK Goku, not a bad option for a Universe Survival Saga category team. Take that in consideration as well. On Super Attack, greatly raises attack for 1 turn, which is a 50% multiplier and causes colossal damage to enemy. Upon Ultra Super Attack, raises attack for 1 turn, which is a 30% for 1 turn multiplier, causes mega colossal damage to enemy, and lowers attack and defense by 20% for 3 turns. So a very decent effect to have on Ultra Super Attack in the likes of ESBR. You know, lowering attack and defense, especially considering ESBR can it can whip out a bit of damage, and you want to be lowering that defense to get through each phase as quick as possible and making sure you're not taking that much damage. So a very nice effect to have on Ultra Super Attack. In terms of the passive, attack and defense plus 70%, great chance, which is 70% chance to launch up to 2 additional attacks, which is very nice as well, which means you're raising attack. So say for example, you that great chance of launching 2 attacks comes off. Actually, no, sorry, because they have a very high chance of just being basic attacks. It's not super attacks, it's just basic attacks, so ignore that. Plus an additional attack and defense plus 7% up to 70%, so you can get up to 140% on attack and defense. And key +1 up to 7 with each attack performed. So, you know, it's a pretty solid passive. It's one of those kind of self-reserve kind of passives where you're essentially building them up by super attacking or attacking with them, if that makes sense. So not only you're raising their attack on Ultra Super Attack, you're lowering attack and defense, but you're also, by getting off, you know, if you're lucky enough to get launching up to 2 additionals, the more attacks you do, the more you're going to build up their attack and defense and also their key, which is very useful for an LR when you want to be getting off the Ultra Super Attack. More often than not, chance of performing a critical hit plus 7%, just like the other unit as well, and reduces damage received by 7% within the same turn with each attack performed. So this unit is heavily built around you constantly getting off attacks with this unit. Because not only are you going to give yourself a bonus attack and defense plus 77%, which goes up to 70%, and not only do they launch 2 additional attacks anyway, or a chance to, which is obviously very useful, and I said self-preserving for this unit in their passive, but you also raise their key, you also have a chance of forming a crit plus 7%, and you can also reduce damage received by 7% within the same turn with each attack performed. So it's not a bad unit, you know. 100, you know, once you've built up their passive with getting all the attacks off, you got 140% on attack and defense, which is pretty solid. And then not only that, the more attacks you performed or in the same turn, you could build up a little bit of damage reduction, you know, per 7%. So, you know, it's not a bad unit having damage reduction for like the harder events like LGE and ESBR. So this one I would say probably is a slightly more versatile unit compared to the Universe 7 unit, so keep that in mind as well when summoning for both. Just for the sole fact, the other unit, the Universe 7 unit, is so heavily focused on running on a Reps Universe 7 team, whereas this one you kind of have a little bit more leeway. You don't have to, you know, be so heavily focused on Reps Universe 7 team or having, you know, 5 Reps Universe 7 allies. I know, again, this unit, as I said with the last one, They don't have this one, also doesn't have many categories. So, you know, it's not something that's going to be a detriment completely to the other unit. But, for example, you can run this on a Universe Survival Saga and not have to completely deck it out with Reps Universe 7 category allies. You know, you can run Jiren, run Toppo, run other units that are not from Reps Universe 7 that go on that team, you know, without, you know, a detriment to the unit itself, if that makes sense. They also have an active skill, which is Ki +7, Defense +77%, and performs critical hit for 1 turn, so that critical hit is guaranteed. So again, that's what I mean by this unit's incredibly versatile. Not to mention, if you have that passive fully built up, so that 140% on attack and defense, and you get the active skill off, that's a bonus 7 Ki on top of 7 Ki you would have already built up, which is 14 Ki, by the way, which means you only need 4 Ki spheres to get off an 18, you know, an 18 Ki super attack, which is their ultra super attack. Not to mention, you get a bonus defense plus 77% on top of the 140 you would have had after you built up their passive, which of course takes you up to 217% on defense, which is very, very good again for those harder events like ESBR and a longer drawn out event like LG or the GT Legendary Goku event, where you're going to need that defense for later on during the event, you know, especially against full power SJ4 Goku. So, you know, getting them fully built out, you know, on a longer drawn out event like Legendary Goku event is going to be very useful. Yeah, it'll be very useful because, you know, imagine you get to, you know, close to the end of the event, type of fight against SSJ4 Goku, you're going to have their passive fully built up, plus the attack and defense, plus 70%, which you already get. You know, you're going to have their Ki built up, you're gonna have damage reduction for the turn, critical hit built up for the turn, and then, you know, if you have their active skill by then, close to near the end, you know, you got a bonus, as I said, up to 217% on defense, and then, you know, you're pretty much guaranteed an ultra super attack for that turn. Not to mention as well, in a longer drawn out event like that as well, you're constantly raising your attack, which you're going to do even more damage on both super attack and ultra super attack. Of course, the Legendary Goku event, when you get in at the end, when you verse in the full power SJ4 Goku stage, you won't be able to lower his attack and defense, which is why this will be very, very useful, as I said, on the likes of ESBR as well, and you can kind of get them partially built up, you know, on a slightly easier event compared to the Goku event. In terms of the conditions, can be activated after performing 4 more super attacks in battle once early, which isn't too difficult in terms of their categories. Again, they're not on the most categories. They have 1 more category compared to the Universe 7 unit, which is they're on Battle of Wits as well. But as I said, with this unit, you're probably mainly going to be running these on Universe Survivor Saga and Reps Universe 7 as well. But as I said, their kit is not completely tied to having Reps Universe 7 category allies. They do take that in consideration with this one, and I do think this one probably slightly edges it, considering how much versatility this unit has in their passive or in their kit in general. In terms of both the units, I forgot to mention that on the other one. Their links aren't the greatest, but they aren't bad. You know, let's take that in consideration. But, you know, as I said, in terms of the banners themselves, after going through the units for so long, you know, as I said, the LR summon banners, they don't have the best of rates. So, you know, if you're missing, as I said yesterday, we'll be kind of touching on similar points. If you're missing Goku and Vegeta, your best bet is probably not summoning on this. Make sure they're priority with your tickets, and if you don't get through the tickets, you have stones remaining, or you can, you know, you're going to get more stones throughout the celebration as well. Your main priority should be getting one of them, probably specifically Goku, as I said before. As much as it hurts, he does edge it over Vegeta. If you have one of them, again, you're going to be having tickets at this point as well. You're probably going to want to go for the other unit you're missing over this, but at the end of the day, you can still try your luck if you really want one of these, or potentially both. If you have both Goku and Vegeta like I do, as I said in yesterday's video, again, I'd probably feel more inclined to say to you guys, try your luck in this banner, especially while having the tons of thanks tickets, because you essentially, if you have stones left, like I do, you can save them for future Dokkan Fest, which is fantastic, and also, you know, more importantly, the worldwide celebration, which is going to be huge. So yeah, you can save your stones you have left, or any remaining stones you're going to get from the celebration, and gifted to you, and you can essentially have free summons on the TOP banner, which, as I said, if you have both Goku and Vegeta, I'd feel more inclined to say, go for it, try your luck. But as I said, at the end of the day, with these Should You Summon videos, I'm not trying to tell you where to summon. If you want to summon on them, regardless if you have Goku, Vegeta, or both of them, none of them, one of them, go for it. It's entirely up to you. It's your account at the end of the day. I'm not here to tell you what to do. It's entirely up to you where you spend your stones and also your tickets, and what units you want to pull for. As I said at the beginning of the video, the one thing that's quite nice about this with the universe, with this legendary summon banner is you're going to have tickets to summon on, which means you don't have to use your stones. You can use both if you want to, but of course you can essentially get some free multis with the tickets. So yeah, as I said in the beginning of the video, we were going to touch a lot on the similar points to yesterday's video when we were talking about where to use your thank you summon tickets. But you know, I still want you to do a should you summon video specifically for the TOP banner. So do let me know if you're going to summon on this banner, and let me know, are you going to be using stones, you're going to be using tickets, or will you end up using both? Do let me know down in the comments. We'll be summoning on this banner with our thank you summon tickets or our tons of thanks tickets, and maybe if we don't pull one, maybe I'll go back in with a few hundred stones just for content's sake, because they're not bad units either, and I want to get some content on these units as well. I'm going to end this one here. If you did find this video useful, do let me know down in the comments, and don't forget to drop a like as well. I'll see you in the next video, guys. Peace.